No, I'll pull it up. I guess I can go to the email. It's not here. All righty. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Supervisors scheduled budget meeting number 1 on the 2025 budget request from external agencies. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I want to thank you, your boards, your volunteers, everything you all do for our community. Truly wonderful work. Thank you. The purpose of tonight's scheduled budget meeting is to give agencies requesting 2025 funding support an opportunity to provide information regarding their request to the Board of Supervisors. Our role tonight is to listen. In the interest of everyone's time, we will hold any potential questions we have, make a list, and pass them on to staff to seek answers from presenting organizations in the days after the meeting. We will receive presentations in the following order. First, those present will be called, and after we finish with those, physically present, we will go to Zoom to receive any remote presentations. Those who are on Zoom are asked to make their camera active during their presentation. The county administrator or finance director will promote those presenting remotely to a panelist when it is their turn to present. Budget requests to be discussed tonight are at this point only estimates to be included in the draft budget. The FY 2025 budget cycle will continue over the next 3 months. The board expects to adopt a budget in mid-May. We do ask that you follow these guidelines when addressing the board. State your name, the organization you represent, and address your comments to the board as a whole. Please limit your comments to no more than 5 minutes. If you represent a group, you may want to recognize others in attendance or those you're representing. And I'm sure Mr. Suter wants me to take roll tonight. Is that, that would be helpful. Mr. McDaniel.
Here.
Mr. Lyons.
Here.
Mr. Day. Here. And Mr. Lewis.
Present.
And the chair is present as well.
Madam Chair, if I may, I would like to apologize in advance. I have other board service that's going to require me to leave about 6 o'clock. So
okay.
If you see me leave, I apologize to the presenters, but I must do that. Thank you.
Okay. All righty. How would we like? Would you like to call them for me? Okay.
Just a reminder, Mr. Reese.
He's first. Mr. Reese is first with the Rockbridge Volunteer Fire and EMS Association.
Sorry, anybody else in attendance. He gets a privilege because he is on call and he's going to go save lives later. We hope so.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Steve Reese, President of the Rockbridge Volunteer Fire and EMS Association. We only have 3 requests this year. The first of which is the volunteer pay-per-call, currently in place at $10 for a response and $5 for a standby. We're asking that be raised to $15 for a response and $7 for a standby. This program has gone a long way over the last 2 years. It has been instituted to promote volunteer responses to calls and also helped a lot with recruitment and retention. We feel like this will help us even more if we could see to adjust that just a little bit. Our second request is allotment increase to the base allotments for all agencies. This was 2011 when the last base allotment increase was done across the board. In 2016, there was an adjustment, not to allotments, but that instituted the variable call pay to fire. EMS did elect not to do variable call pay, and they put that across the board to all agencies. But essentially, 2011 was the last time an increase was done. We're asking for a 3.2% increase. We pulled that off of the Consumer Price Index, which shows that it's been a 3.2% increase in funding in general across the board, expense-wise. And our third and final is the association's funding. You currently fund us at $20,000, and we are asking that that remain in place, level funded. And that's all we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Reese.
Robert Dio with the National Bridge Soil Water Conservation District.
Good evening. I'm Rob Dale with National Bridge Soil and Water District. Last year, we put $1.3 million worth of conservation practices on the ground in Rockbridge County. And this year, we're going to put 1.6. And we just want to let you know we appreciate your support, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, sir.
Julie Goyette with the Rockbridge Regional Library System.
I'm Julie Goyette, Director of Rockbridge Regional Library System, located just across the way from you all. I want to thank the Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors for your continued support for the library. Your annual allocation makes it possible to provide much needed services, classes, and programs across our region. For fiscal year 2025, we are requesting $678,273 from Rockbridge County for the operating budget of the library system. This requested increase for total local government funding is only 10% higher than what was allocated by the 4 jurisdictions for FY 2020. That's 2% per fiscal year of an increase over the past 5 years. This increase in funding will allow the library to return to pre-COVID-19 operating hours as requested by our patrons across the system and provide a modest 3% cost of living pay increase for staff. In addition, the budget request includes a 10% increase in health insurance costs. As you know, the library consistently plans for a 10% increase in health insurance and then adjusts on actual costs. In partnership with our local governments, Rockbridge Regional Library System adds great value to the communities we serve by providing the following resources and so many more. Access to books from anywhere through downloadable ebooks, access to the internet through mobile hotspots, printing from personal mobile devices such as personal laptops, phones, and tablets, access to library materials in rural areas without a brick and mortar library such as Fairfield through the Rescue Squad. Reliable service to the homebound and disabled, information and training on topics such as legal forms, career online high school, kindergarten preparation, homeschooling resources, and test prep, including the ASVAB. Rockbridge Regional Library System serves the counties of Rockbridge and Bath, the cities of Buena Vista and Lexington, and smaller communities throughout the region with outreach services and 5 locations: Buena Vista, Glasgow, Goshen, Lexington, and Warm Springs. All locations share collections. This means with our 4-day delivery service between branches, if you live in Glasgow and you want a book that's presently in Bath, you can usually pick it up in a day or 2. Thank you again for supporting Rockbridge Regional Library.
Thank you very much.
Tracy Lyons with the Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, everyone. Thank y'all for having me tonight. Tracy Lyons, I'm the Executive Director of our local Chamber of Commerce. And also here with me tonight is our board chair for this year, Mr. Ben Worth of Mountain Gate Community College. So, yeah, right. I first want to say thank you. I know that many of you spend a lot of time with us at the Chamber, supporting our events and serving on our committees, and we appreciate that support. I think it's very important to have you involved and to have you at the table just to continue to grow our community and to bring us all together. So tonight, I just want to say thank you first. I also want to tell you a little bit about what we have going on at the Chamber and some new things happening this year. So at this time, we're asking for level funding, an amount of $5,000 for the year, just to support the ongoing education, recruitment, retention of our 450 plus members that serve Rockbridge County. It is always our goal to bring everyone together. I think that's the one thing that we do is continuously strive to have the business communities supporting one another, no matter across localities and no matter what, I guess, area they're serving. They're really understanding that they're building a greater good for the better Rockbridge community. So thank y'all for that. I want to talk a little bit about, our 3-tiered approach that we always have and have had for many years. This is our strategic plan. And in the Chamber world, we get asked to do a lot of things things and be a lot of things. And so we always go back to these 3 tiers and kind of ask, does it fit our mission? And so I want to talk just briefly about those. The 3-tiered mission is 3 parts. So number 1, sustaining our region as one community working together. It allowed us to kind of just continually to support the business community, to bring our 3 localities together as one voice for the community. Secondly, cultivating our region as a thriving hub for business. That's the second focus in our strategic plan. We're always committed to facilitating workshops, networking opportunities, just kind of those connections for our members where they can continue to build their local community connection and thrive at the end of the day, make sure their businesses are operational. Lastly, and one of the biggest things that we work on continuously and have been since pre-COVID is developing a skilled and diverse workforce. We collaborate monthly with a lot of our K-12 partners, and we're continuously doing that and trying to find new initiatives and new ways to reach out to our workforce and figure out what the areas of focus are needed for our up and coming workforce. We are partners on a lot of different things. So a couple things I want to talk about. One is our resource fair. This is a new thing that we're trying this year. It's actually happening on Wednesday at the Best Western Hunt Ridge. We're bringing in all of our resources, state and regional partners, just to let our business community walk around and have FaceTime with them. So a lot of times they hear about these grants, they hear about funding, they hear about educational opportunities or internships or apprenticeships, but they don't know where to start. And so this opportunity is having everyone in one place and they can walk around and meet them. So we're excited about that. We'll see how that goes. That's this Wednesday. Additionally, one thing that I want to talk about that has a little bit to do with workforce is a new initiative. We're in partnership with the Virginia Chamber. And I do have a handout that I'll just share with you guys. I'll summarize it for you, but you can kind of take these. This is a new association healthcare plan. So what we're calling it is kind of a consortium. So this is allowing small businesses to buy into a healthcare plan that as a member of our chamber, they're also a member of the Virginia Chamber, and they'll have access to just a more affordable, competitive, really good healthcare. The way we see this as like a win-win for our community is building the workforce and our small businesses being able to offer more things like benefits to keep their employees on long-term. It's also just more sustainable long-term to keep their workforce healthier, to provide more things for them and such. So it's being rolled out this month. All of our local brokers are being educated on to sell the plan, and then our members, as a member of our chamber, they'll be able to buy into just more affordable rates for healthcare for themselves and for their employees. So we're very excited about that. We also are bringing back Career Fest in March, which is a big thing. This is a worlds of work opportunity for our 7th graders to come to the Virginia Horse Center and just walk around and explore all the different, talent and workforce needs there are for the community. So that is late March, and we're excited to just bring all 3 communities together for that. Lastly, I just want to mention, just briefly, some of the other things that really are important to us. Of course, economic development has been a big focus for y'all in the county, and we are just committed to supporting that. We're excited for the new brand and new things that are coming out and rolling out and just supporting those efforts. We've seen a big uptick in businesses in the region, and especially in Rockbridge County. And I think it's our job to continue to support them and to make sure that they stay here long term. So we're committed to just enhancing that and being the good partner in that area. So I think with that, if you don't have any other questions, I think we're good. But thank y'all so much for all your support. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Ben Worth with Mountain Gateway Community College.
Good evening, Board of Supervisors. So good to be here. On behalf of John Renoni, I want to thank you for your support, particularly your support of the Wilson Workforce Center. You've been very generous in that area, and I thank you for that. John Renoni sends his regrets that he cannot be here tonight. He's in Richmond with some other events. We're requesting level funding, so no increase from last year. Those funds primarily support the Rockbridge Regional Center. They also go to our local funds as well as our Roadrunner Promise program, so supporting scholarships at the program. We've got a lot of exciting things happening at Mountain Gateway. I know many of you are at our ribbon cutting that took place at the Wilson Workforce Center this past year. Classes are now open and running in there. We've got classes in HVAC, we've got classes in electrical, we've got construction safety courses. The renovations to the adjacent building, the old Ford dealership, are moving forward. The roof has been repaired, the asbestos is out. We've got a bid out now that will actually start doing the more serious construction on the inside. So we are on track to have classes opening this time a year from now. In fact, we are planning, we'll be the last business after hours in December. So if you can mark that on your calendar, please come out to the center to see what that space looks like. We're really excited about it. I'm very happy to talk about our laboratory school. This is one of our governor's initiatives. We are on track to have that approved at the end of March. This is an information technology academy. It's going to be rolled out to all of the high schools in our service area. So Perry McClure, Rockbridge are able to participate. Students can come to our main campus, and it's training in cybersecurity. It's training in cloud computing and technical services. So the kind of work that happens in a help desk type situation. What's really exciting about this program is it's tied to industry recognized certifications. Those students can leave high school with certifications in cybersecurity and a number of other areas and go right to work with that. We also have pathways into 2-year and 4-year programs with it. So we're really excited with what we're doing there. And I could go on and on. We've got a medical lab technology partnership that's going to launch next year. It's in collaboration with Lewis Gill Hospital and Virginia Western Community College. Huge need in this area for healthcare. We're certainly doing our part with nursing instruction. This will add to it. Med lab is all the work that happens behind the scenes at the hospitals when all these specimens are gathered and analyzed. We need people doing that work. Be glad to answer any additional questions you have. I'll keep my remarks brief, but I just want to say again, and on behalf of John Rennetti, thank you for all of your support. It's really, truly exciting to be able to serve Rockbridge County, and we've got a lot of great things ahead here in 2024.
Thank you very much.
Suzanne Sheridan with the Rockbridge Area Health Center.
Get away here. Suzanne Sheridan, I'm the CEO of the Rockbridge Area Health Center. As you know, we're a nonprofit organization governed by a board of directors who are committed to addressing this community's healthcare needs. Rockbridge Area Health Center has not requested a funding increase since 2015. This year, we are requesting an increase to $75,000, up from $50,000 for the previous 10 years. In 2015, the Rockbridge Area Health Center served 3,043 people and provided a total of 8,711 visits. By contrast, in 2023, we served 9,018 people and provided 34,538 visits. Last year, a lot of things have been happening, particularly this last year. We launched 2 mobile units, 1 medical and 1 dental, in collaboration with Fire and Rescue, Rockbridge County Public Schools, and community groups in Goshen and Rockbridge Baths. We have been able to serve people in their communities with these mobile units. In addition to that, we've opened 2 school-based health centers, one at Maury River Middle School and Rockbridge County High School. And we currently have a licensed clinical social worker providing mental health services to the kids in those 2 schools. And this year we will be adding a physician assistant and nursing to support our kids in school. So that's all I have. Thank you very much. I look forward to your questions, and I hope you'll consider our request.
Thank you very much.
Tara Rhodey with the Rockbridge SPCA.
Good evening. I'm Tara Rhodey, the Executive Director with the Rockbridge SPCA. Last year, the SPCA had 5,233 visitors come to the shelter. We were up 334 from last year, so we've been pretty busy. We took in 321 dogs and 476 cats. We had 189 dogs and cats get adopted, but that was down about 16 from last year. And we sent 353 dogs and cats to rescues outside of our area, and that's down about 150 from last year. So a lot of other places are full, not able to take some of our dogs and cats. At full capacity, we can hold 95 cats and 41 dogs. We do have a save rate of 96%. That has gone down 1% from last year for dogs, and 92% save rate for our cats. That did go down 3% from last year. We do provide a monthly low-cost spay and neuter transport each month to help the community, and we received $8,000 in grant funding so we can help people spay and neuter their pets. our biggest impact for our budget, as you probably have noticed, has gone up with the common things with our increase in cost of goods that we're using from our cleaning supplies, the food we're buying. Food is more expensive. The product packaging is getting smaller, to our drugs and insurance as well. But the biggest impact for us was the payroll. We have always been a minimum wage paying nonprofit. So we literally went from $7.25 an hour to now $12 an hour with the mandatory increase in the minimum wage, which is great. I'm happy for my employees that has happened, but it has put a big significant increase in our payroll. We are, of course, seeing having more portion for the SBCA to pay towards the budget as well. So we'll be having to step up our fundraisers to also increase our money for that. We did open a new spa, the spa do-it-yourself dog wash. So that will be an ongoing everyday fundraiser for us. And already, even in the wintertime, we've had people coming and using that every day. So hopefully when the weather gets nicer, we're going to even have more people. So, and also the county's portion of your animal days, you went from 81 to 84.5%. So there was an increase in that combined with the other things that have gone up in our budget. But most everything else either stayed about the same or went down. So we are asking for $256,647 for the next fiscal year. And we appreciate your support of the Rockbridge SPCA.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jay Langston with the Shenandoah Valley Partnership.
Madam Chair, members of the board, good evening. It's good to be here. I am Jay Langston, the Executive Director of the Shenandoah Valley Partnership. Thank you for your continued patronage. Over 25 plus years, we've been marketing, doing economic development on your behalf and with you. One of our biggest successes this past year was with the XFS project that we were happy to be a part of here. With the funds, and we are at level funding this year. We are still focusing on outreach. I had the privilege, just coincidental, but able to put in a site for Rockbridge County today for a particular project. You know, the chances are small, but it's always good to be in front of somebody. And we are heavily working on talent retention and attraction. We have a very aggressive campaign related to trying to attract new talent to the region and maintaining the talent that we have here. We're reaching out to alumni, those that have lived here and in schools. I am leaving you with 6 of these, one for you, Spencer, of our annual reports, and I'd be happy to answer any questions at a later time, but I will be quick and get out of here so that other people can speak as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
Michelle Watkins with RATS.
Everybody else has been so brief. Can I use their time?
No.
Okay. Sort of. And I promise I really will try to make this short. A lot has happened since the last time I spoke before all of you a year ago. A big piece of which is a new program RATS has been able to kick off that is called the Rockbridge Connect and Nourish. A year ago, when we were first starting this initiative, it was at the time called the Portable Area Community Table, but a lot of people were confusing it with the community table. And we realized as we were getting started in our initiative, there's so much more that we're doing out in the rural areas of the county. And to say the portable area community table just didn't represent all of that. Just a wee bit of history on this. About 2 years ago, in collaboration with the information provided by Carillion from their community needs assessment that they published in August of 21, they identified access to services and food insecurity as the top 2 needs for the area. So 2 years ago, almost I reached out to the community table to say, hey, I've got the access, you've got part of the food concept. How can we work together to try and collaboratively address some of these needs out in the rural areas of the county? So looking at the model that TCT has here in Lexington, but understanding that by going out into the rural areas of the county, we're really addressing some different needs than just those that exist here within Lexington. In Lexington, access is a little easier. Food insecurity, they have closer access to those foods. Cost is another story. But when you're out in the rural areas, distance is a big barrier for a lot of people. By the time you drive from Rockbridge Baths into town, that could take you 30 minutes, depending on weather and traffic. So one of the key concepts was taking the food out to the different rural areas in the county. And we identified, based on demographic and data from Carillion and other sources, that there were 8 key areas we wanted to target. And you'll see in some of the documentation you have there that I just handed out, and in some of the materials that I submitted at the time of application, we received, sorry, taking half a step back there, we received a $13,000 grant from Carillion in June of 22 to begin the launch, or at least the administrative development of this program. In July of 2022, Virginia Department of Health reached out to me, and we were asked to apply for some of their funding, which we ultimately received. And the concept behind that was not just Rockbridge area transportation, providing free transportation for anybody in the county to any of these meals. And I'm not joking, we take people from Glasgow to Goshen. We'll be doing it on Wednesday of this week. So we're not limiting people to, nope, sorry, that's beyond a 5-mile radius. We're not going to take you. But instead, in addition to providing free transportation to free meals, sit down three-course meals, we are also taking resources from within Lexington, Rockbridge County areas out into these meals and having them available at each of the meals. We have flu shots provided by Carillion, for example, at some of the meals. We have gun locks that are available at the meals. We have Narcan kits with training and release that we have available at these meals. We have 26 service providers representing 49 different types of services that we are providing in information at these meals, as well as representatives from the different programs attending these meals, talking with people, educating people about these meals, and it's been very exciting. A year ago, February 2nd, Rockbridge Area Transportation System was one of only 3 organizations in the country to receive a $75,000 grant from the National Center of Mobility Management for this initiative specifically. And that is what really gave us the extra oomph that we needed to get launched and begin the meals. So in early March, we formed the advisory committee for Rockbridge CAN. And that advisory committee, I have to cheat because I always forget somebody in the name, but I think you guys received it in the information. I'll be fast, I promise. That you received. So we have Tracy from the Chamber of Commerce, Social Services, Habitat for Humanity, Project Horizon, the Rockbridge Area Health Center, Connections Plus, Rockbridge Area Relief Association, Rockbridge Baths Community Organization, Rockbridge County Administration, Economic Development, and Rockbridge County Sheriff's Office, Central Shenandoah Health District of the Virginia Department of Health. So we brought together a coalition of very diverse services here in the community that can really be available to help address a lot of different needs that exist out in the county, but many people don't know that it even exists or who to call or how to get a hold of them. You have a little bit of intimidation that might be happening. You also have a lot of learned behavior if you think about it. Many families have generations from this area, and that's the way they've always done it, and that's the way they're going to do it. And we have no intention of ever trying to tell somebody, no, you have to do it differently. At the same time, having these resources available, having the information available might encourage some curiosity. And maybe that will motivate people to want to learn about other things. Maybe it won't. But the more important thing that we have discovered through these meals is the connection that is happening by people. At least 25% of our diners live alone. That's very sad for a lot of people who are in such social isolation. They want to get out, but they don't know how to. They don't want to go very far. So we give them these opportunities to bring them to the table. I would say at least 50% of our riders never utilized RATs before. So all of this having been said, I apologize. RATS is hereby asking for $78,400 to cover the transportation costs only prorated for only the purpose of Rockbridge Camp. We are using at least 3 vehicles per meal to transport at least 13 people. We've transported up to 18 people to just a single meal that we have around the county. We have reduced the volume of sites because of logistics. So we are now only serving meals at 6 of the locations instead of 8 as we had originally been doing. But we also noticed during the holiday season where dinership reduced by 50% for the average person, ridership stayed exactly the same, which indicates that many people who are utilizing our transportation service are otherwise isolated and really need that social interaction and opportunity to be with other people. We served in the first 9 months of the initiative almost 2,000 meals. We provided over 500 rides. We are predicting to reach our 1-year mark on March 15th of serving 2,500 meals. What we're able to do is very exciting. The collaboration and partnerships we have with 13 other organizations in the community is really showing value and benefit for everybody. So please consider the amount being asked, and I greatly appreciate your time. And I realize
Thank you.
I just erred. I'm sorry if I did not announce myself. It's
You did,
Michelle
you
Watkins.
did really well. Thank you, Michelle.
Spencer McElroy with the Limekiln Theater.
Spencer McElroy. I'm the executive director at Limekiln Theater. I'm joined by our board president, Chuck Smith. Thank you guys for the opportunity and your past year's support. I'm happy to say this is our 10th year back in action. And I feel, and I hope you guys feel as well, that Limekiln has reestablished itself as a very important community asset for the arts, as a tourism driver, and for the brand of Rockbridge. So thank you for your past support. I wanted to quickly recap some 2023 numbers for you. We did 13 concerts, 12 of them sold out. We did 17 other public and private events. And while that may not seem like a lot of events, we sold 8,800 tickets to our concerts, normalized for the season pass, and across all events, just over 15,000 attendees. Around 60% of our concert attendees came from outside of Rockbridge County. We did $61,000 in maintenance and capital improvement projects this year to improve the experience of our guests and ensure the longevity of our venue. We now have 3 full-time equivalents for G&A and overhead, and another full-time equivalent for direct labor at all the concerts. So we've expanded our staffing model. It was our best year yet in terms of tickets sold, ticket prices, number of events. But it's important to note that we were still under 5% margin on net income on our P&L. When you factor in capital improvement projects, we ate into our cash reserve a little bit this year. I still categorize us as a healthy nonprofit in the sense that 80% of our revenue is earned, 20% unearned. So 20% comes from grants, donations, and funding from the city and the county, which is way higher than the average in terms of earned revenue versus unearned revenue. Nonprofits are typically more 50-50 or even higher on the unearned portion, which I'm proud of because it's a low cost to the tax base. It's a low cost to the donor base, and we're able to provide a great service. but margins are still slim. So when you look at that, you see how important grants, donations, and funding from the city and the county are to what we're able to do. And our ask is slightly higher than in previous years. This year, it's the first time we've asked for an increase in 10 years I've been the director. So I hope that you guys will look at that request and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Anita Givens with the Friends of Rockbridge Swimming.
Hi, and good evening. I'm Anita Givens, the current board president of Friends of Rockbridge Swimming, and I'm here to thank the county for its continued support for our organization. My husband and I are beginning our 5th year in the area, and this area checked off many of our boxes for locating here, and the availability of an indoor pool was high on that list. We moved right before COVID struck, and the ability of the staff to make adjustments so that the swimming could continue was huge. It's my go-to for my mode of exercise, even in harsh winter weather. Our indoor pool continues to offer many services to the Rockbridge area, and during 2023, Forest Swimming provided on a weekly basis 56 hours per week of open public lap swimming and family swimming, 9 hours of weekly aquasize classes targeted for older adults, and 16 hours of weekly swim programming for youth ages 4 to 18. Many of our members and patrons are over the age of 65, and we serve between 1 and 200 citizens daily. Our facility is a key resource to the community for safe physical activity and connection throughout the year. This could be the only form of exercise that some can do safely. Currently, we have 5 instructors that are catering to a wide range of abilities in their aquasize class offerings, and we are also handicap accessible. We have stairs for entry and exit, as well as a lift that allows for patrons to enter the pool safely. It's very common for our local physicians to prescribe this type of exercise, and we work with agencies to facilitate linking community members to our programs that best meet their needs. We ensure that regardless of income, our facility is available to everyone in our community. We create swim lesson programs for children of all ages and offer these lessons free of charge to those who may not otherwise be able to afford the programming. In addition, each year we offer lessons to school-age children free of charge during the regular school day. What a great opportunity for kids to learn to swim. Each spring and summer, we offer swim lessons to the community to teach water safety skills and swim stroke development. These programs help build skills that children can use to become better swimmers and enjoy the many water recreation activities in the Rockbridge County area. In 2023, we provided swim lessons to over 300 children through our various programs, including the STAR Camp, Summer Fun, Lexington Police Camp, and the Washington Lee ESOL program. We partner with community groups and organizations and provide water recreation as well as water safety instruction. So in addition, we have 49 lifeguards were trained this year in the Lexington City, Rockbridge County, and Buena Vista pools. And this Red Cross certified program emphasized water skills and the CPR and AED. The training allows our youth to have access to local jobs and allows our pools to have the proper staff that we need for citizens to be safe in and around the community pools. In summary, Forest Swimming offers a robust and important programming for our community and surrounding area. We provide exercise opportunities, swim lessons, and water safety skills, which will impact our county and citizens throughout their lives. We continue to support our mission, which is to provide educational opportunities and support for youth, high school, and adult swim teams, as well as fitness and therapy swimming for all of the Rockbridge County region. Many thanks to our county supervisors for your continued financial support, which helps to ensure that our pool remains a source of excellence to our community. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you.
Chad Coffey with Raro. Kofi, I'm sorry.
Coffee's right.
Sorry.
That's your fun. Good evening. First, I'd just like to thank you all for your support. Raro is just finishing up celebrating its 35th year in existence, which would not be possible without the county and the local government support. So we greatly appreciate that. As we're celebrating that, there's been quite a bit of talk within the last year about Railroad's future, Railroad's vision, and how we can reach the community as a whole at a much larger level. So our focus has been on programming. Number one, we're always focused on our programs. So in the past 2 years ago, we implemented several new programs and tried to reach into the adult population. This past year, we tried to take those programs and increase the quality of each one that we were offering. And our goal looking forward is trying to reach, we're still reaching the adult population on a very minimal level. So our goal moving forward is to try to reach the community adult population in a much larger capacity. With that comes staffing, and we try to pay close attention to all of our staff members and how we can maximize programs and staffing at the same time. And so some of our increases this year are in some part-time staffing. We've also applied for grant funding to try to increase what we are able to offer moving forward. We feel like with some minimal more support in our part-time staffing, that we can actually maximize and possibly come close to implementing a full adult program, which would involve adult programs for the whole year. Right now, it's kind of spotty throughout the year. We've got an adult program going on. Pickleball is one of our mainstays. It is a year-round program. When we move on from programming, we start looking at facilities. And pickleball is a good example of that. We're limited with no outdoor pickleball facilities, with gym usage from all of our other programs in the wintertime. We kind of are limited with facilities in that capacity. So what happens is our staffing, our number of program participants, some of them have started to look where else can they go and be able to play pickleball. So we're always looking for facility options and maximizing what we currently have. Rivermont has been a great addition. There are some needs there as well, but it's been a great addition to be able to use during the winter. With 41 basketball teams in our youth program this winter, every gym in both cities and the county are being maximized to their capacity. Of note, 2023 was a record year for RARO, more participants than we've ever experienced. So that was huge for us. We were very excited to offer one new program this past year, which was our outdoor recreation, RARO Adventures, which was, we kicked it off with a kayaking program that was very, very successful. Lots of questions looking for it coming back. So kind of with that, looking at staffing, looking at programming, looking at our facilities, obviously we're trying to maximize each of those. We feel like with some of the modest changes in our budget for this year, we can maximize our overall growth and reach in the community. Trying to pay attention to the community health needs and looking at some of those different things. We believe that RARO can be a major player in helping facilitate some of those positive impacts. We're always looking at our partnerships. We've been able to drastically increase those in the last couple of years, which when I say partnerships, one is with the school systems, with the colleges and universities, and also with our local businesses. As I mentioned, the kayaking program and the hiking program that was planned, we were able to partner with local businesses to be able to offer these programs. So as we're looking at our participants and our participant numbers, we're also just trying to feel like we're involved and connected with as many people in the community as we can. Once again, we greatly appreciate your support and appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do we have their request yet?
We do not have the request yet.
We'll talk tomorrow on that.
Rebecca Lamert with the Rockbridge Area Habitat for Humanity. I see your name right?
Yes.
Okay.
my new married name, so I'm still getting used to it. My name is Rebecca Lamert, and I've been the development specialist at Rockbridge Area Habitat for Humanity for about 10 months now. I wanted to start by thanking you, the Board of Supervisors, for your generous support in past years. I've learned in my time at Habitat so far that this support has been really instrumental in assisting our affiliates' affordable housing mission, particularly when it comes to our repair program, which completed 16 total projects in the county last year, which is double the amount the year before. We are respectfully seeking support in fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $5,000 to go towards the establishment of a roof fund as an important part of our repair program. This program serves Rockbridge County residents of 1 year or more who fall below 60% the area median income level, particularly the elderly and disabled, who wish to remain in their homes but may not have the means to address repairs by typical channels. Our program addresses a variety of repair needs, but roof issues, when they arise, tend to be among the most critical for both the health of the home and the safety of the homeowner, as well as most expensive, especially when they amount to a full replacement, which costs around $5,000 for materials and labor these days. The full roof repair project of a disabled Rafine resident in the fall of 2023 spoke to the cost and urgency that these projects often require. Our roof fund will allow us to set aside funds which can be used to respond quickly and efficiently to any critical and time-sensitive roof repair needs that arise in the future. We plan to shore up the fund with other grant opportunities as they become available, for example, last year's Lowe's repair grant, as well as specified donations from individuals. Repair program policy also requires that the committee obtain partners to offset costs whenever and wherever possible, along with the use of volunteer labor and a sweat equity requirement for participating homeowners. This effort is a key part of Habitat's new 3-year strategic plan that includes the expansion of the repair program to include the roof fund, as well as increasing outside assistance, so more partners, subcontractors, and even potentially a staff position, and community outreach, such as the Rockbridge CAN program that Michelle spoke of earlier. Our hope is to have the ability to take on up to 4 roof repair projects per year, which amounts to a $20,000 goal. Thank you very much for your time and consideration towards supporting a quarter of our total goal.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, that's all who's signed up.
All righty. Anybody online?
Yes, we have Beth Bland.
All righty.
And should be able to talk now, Beth.
Thank you. I'm Beth Bland, and I am the Executive Director with Valley Program for Aging Services. VPAS is the local area agency on aging and a nonprofit organization serving Planning District 6. Our focus is on serving adults 60 years and older and their caregivers to support independent living in their homes and communities. This year, VPAS is celebrating our 50th anniversary of serving older adults and again, their families in the communities in Planning District 6. And we are asking for level funding of $33,000. And this funding will be targeted to our congregate meals program, our home delivered meals program, or Meals on Wheels, and our emergency funds program. Our congregate meals program is, we have transitioned senior centers into VPAS cafes, and we have cafes in Buena Vista, Goshen, and Lexington 1 day a month, one day a week in each location. And of course, in our cafes is a time for older adults to come together, have some socialization, have lead exercise, some type of educational program, just to do fun things and to share a congregate meal together, which is so very important with all of the social isolation that older adults naturally experience, but what was exacerbated through the pandemic. With our home delivered meals program this past year, we served 3% more meals to older adults living in Rockbridge County. And as you know, our meals provide 1/3 of the daily nutrition requirements needed by an older adult. And having good nutrition helps older adults manage chronic illness and recover from illness much more quickly than just living off tuna fish and cereal, which we have had some people do. Our emergency funds program helps people who are at risk for maybe being evicted because they can't make their house costs, their rent, or maybe that they need help paying an emergency expense for medicine, or it could be that they're not able to pay a utility bill, such as their electricity. And VPAS is able to step in and work with individuals and their family to come up with the full cost to pay those bills. VPAS will pay a portion of it, and we help the individual and their family find other resources to complete the total bill. It's actually interesting. On the day that I wrote my funding request for Rockbridge County, I had a call from our case manager that's located out of Buena Vista requesting emergency funds to provide 2 nights of a hotel for a gentleman that was homeless and living in his car. And this was during the very cold days in January, where the low was 7 degrees and the high was 27 degrees. And because of those emergency funds, we were able to get him in a warm place for a couple of nights and then help him find a more long-term solution to his homeless situation. So VPAS is very grateful for your ongoing support, and we hope that you will continue to see and believe in the good work that VPAS is doing in your communities and serving the older adults that are friends and neighbors. And if you have any questions, please feel free to pass them along. But thank you for your support.
Thank you, Ms. Bland.
Leah Desjardins. Sorry.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, just pause it. It doesn't seem like my camera's working though. I don't know if that's can be adjusted.
Let's give it a try here.
I don't
There you go.
There we go. All right. Yes. So you got, my name is Ilea Desjardins. I'm with the Talking Book Center. It's an audiobook library for blind and print disabled. So you got all of my printed information, but what I like to do is show you what it is that we do here. So a lot of our patrons, we operate on behalf of the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled up in Washington, and they provide us the audiobooks and materials, and then we provide those to our local patrons. And so what we do, we have this machine that we provide long-term loan to the patrons. It's got volume, it's got play stop buttons, very easy to use. It's portable, so it can go with them in the car. They can use it wherever they'd like. And then we send the audiobooks through the mail in this little cartridge. So we're just able to download the audiobooks straight on this, and people can put it in their machines just like that. Super easy to use. Our patrons range from birth to 103. So it's very simple for them to use. All services are free for them. We also have, this is a new little gadget called an iBill reader. And this is provided by the U.S. Treasury Department. And so what happens is somebody would put a dollar bill in here and it would tell you the denomination of the dollar bill. And that works for ones, twos, fives, everything. You know how money works. We also provide One of the newest things we have is a Braille e-reader. And so this device, you'd be able to download the audiobooks onto here and then just read the Braille books right on your little device. If you were to buy this online, it costs about $2,000 and we provide them for free, whoever needs them. And we also provide a large print newsletter, which are always different. And we send these out to our patrons and they're able to select the books that they'd like to read and give us a call. We provide a really personalized service here. In 2019, we won Library of the Year. And then in 2022, I presented to the National Library Service for the Blind at their conference. And I am celebrating now my 6th year being the supervisor here at the Talking Book Center. So it's not just materials that they get in the mail, but it's personalized service. It's audiobooks, audio magazines, Braille books, Braille magazines, and access to a lot of other reading materials that they would not have normally access to. So I want to thank you for your continued support for the Talking Book Center.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we've got Lindsay Perez. And Lindsay, I'll go ahead and promote you to a panelist so we can hopefully get a camera working.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. So I apologize for not being able to be there in person tonight, but I wanted to just speak a bit as I'm the executive director of RARA. My name is Lindsay Perez, and we are requesting $15,000 in funding to help families avoid eviction and utility cutoffs, access emergency shelter, and receive nutritious food. This request is a $3,000 increase from previous years. In the over 5 years that I've been at RARA, we've stayed with an amount of $12,000. This is the first time we're asking for an increase. So the last time I presented to you all in February of 2023, I mentioned the unprecedented demand that we were seeing at RARA. Since then, it has blown us away with record numbers. Since March of 2023, when SNAP benefits, aka food stamps, returned to pre-pandemic levels, we have been receiving over 800 visits per month to our neighborhood grocery, when in the past we were receiving 500 visits per month. So we finished the year with close to 10,000 visits to the grocery compared to about 7,950 in 2022. We're still seeing high demand for utilities assistance and housing support as well. And homelessness is becoming an even more present issue in the area, as I'm sure you all are aware of. Since 2018, our food budget has more than tripled, and the helpline direct client expenses have nearly doubled. This is partially due to generous community support and grants, which meant that we were able to put more money back into the county, with over 90% of our budget going directly to programming each year, but it's also due to the need. And so with increased food costs, inflation, and less federal and statewide assistance that our clients and people throughout Rockbridge County are receiving, they're turning to RARA for more help. We are continuing to work on identifying underserved areas or populations within the county. I believe I mentioned last year that as part of our 2022 through 2024 strategic plan, we wanted to look at any locations or populations that we would expect to need our services that aren't accessing them, whether that be because they don't know about it or other barriers such as location, time, just not feeling comfortable coming to us. And we want to do targeted outreach to those populations. We are not able to start that outreach until we know that we can sustain another increase. Just with the huge demand over the last year, we want to make sure that if we are doing it, that we can serve everybody well and continue forward for many years to come. So I thank everyone for your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me as well.
Thank you very much. Okay. Board, any discussion, any questions? Anything? All righty. Motion to adjourn? All right, Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Lyons?
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel? Mr. Day? And the chair votes yes. All righty.